Hi, so this is the week ending 13th of May. I am going to discuss who I spoke with this week. I spoke with Viv, the librarian who's on our MA course. Talked about quantitative research, mapping problems, action research and interventions. That was something I was unclear about. What is quantitative research? So that was really interesting. What else came out of that conversation? Well, we had for my research, it might be a good idea to train people to do what I do, so I can then observe and monitor what other people are doing, which talks again about consent, doing consent forms. So this kind of opened up that discussion. So I would do a call out to see if anyone was interested in doing this training. So that came out of that. Finding reasons for doing the project. So why do I want to do the project? So I guess there were some things that I wrote down just briefly, which was wanting people to connect better, explore intimacy, explore love, play and connection, but also it's really important for me that bonobos are somehow raise awareness about bonobos, but also financially support them through the rescue program that I want to develop within the project. So that was that. What else? Build a data sheet, so make sure that when I am collecting data that I'm getting the right data. That was great to know. And then I spoke to Molly, who's does funding applications, and I'm going to meet up with her and talk about maybe making some applications to the Wellcome Trust, also to SEED, which is the UAL funding body for social enterprises, or enterprises, is not specifically, but entrepreneurial enterprises. Also spoke to a person doing an MA in design communication, and they were interested in collaborations, so I'm going to meet up with them next week, but I'm not sure what is going to be happening there, but it's interesting nevertheless. So moving on from people that I spoke to, I'd like to talk a little bit about the challenges of this week and what did they involve. So this video was certainly a challenge, not necessarily talking in front of a camera, but sort of getting a format that works, and I think that through doing this I'm going to become better at delivering the video. So that was something that I was thinking about, and I was procrastinating a lot and not sort of, but these forms, this form that I've been developing with my support tutor is really helping me out, so that's of benefit. Finding a way that works essentially is kind of what I'm moving towards with this. The uncertainties of this week include, to know what the basis of these questions are. So when I'm looking at this sheet and I'm filling one out, what is it that I'm what's the basis of my reflection? So what am I questioning? What's the point of this sheet? And what are the questions directing me towards? Because I don't want them to be going off in tangents all the time. I need to be very succinct and definite about where we are going with this process. New ideas for breakthroughs that were generated from this week include the bonobo experience, badges, so the idea of Girl Guides badges, so when people have completed certain aspects of the training or the bonobo experience, and now start to acquire badges, and that would be something that I want to involve into something, these sorts of patches, so that people can like start to embellish bags or coats or what have you, just as a memento, but also that they've achieved an aspect of what we're delivering with the project. Training people, that has been a big breakthrough, the idea that I can start building a group of people that are doing this work so that it's not so intensive on me all the time. Again, the Wellcome Trust was a breakthrough, possibilities of getting funding, and speaking to Molly about that, the fundraiser. Brain scanning, that's something that I was thinking about. It's like, how do we test the brain before and after a workshop? And then finally, personal development. Well, I've realised that I've been procrastinating a lot over this process. Thoughts of the thought of reflecting and doing, that was hard. So the idea of reflecting on stuff that I've been doing always feels like I'm backtracking, and I move very quickly, and my dyslexic brains are all over the place. So just getting me to sit down and write something about what I've done, analytically, is quite difficult. And that's it. So thank you very much for your time.